Diane, I'm listening to a podcast, Black Lodge Trivia Night. I've never heard so many game aspirations in my life.
So anyway, that's when I got my double hysterectomy.
Wait, didn't you already have a double hysterectomy?
Oh, damn. You called me out.
Oh, man. Do you want to get started or?
Sure. Let's rock
All
and
right.
roll.
So, welcome to Black Lodge Trivia Night. I'm Art, and I'm here tonight with Patrick. How's it going?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing okay. We are short of Matt, who I've heard is trapped on a speeding bus that if it goes below 55 miles an hour, it'll explode.
Which 55 miles an hour is not that fast, but for a bus,
maybe.
Very uncomfortably fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially around New York City or Philadelphia or wherever undisclosed location Matt is today.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we look forward to hearing about it or not if it
Or not.
drops below 55 miles an hour. So,
yeah.
Oh, man. We are both coming in goddamn on fire. So
Yeah.
do you want to get to some trivia?
Always. Hey, that's the only thing that grounds me week to week is the daily trivia that I fail.
All right.
Weekly trivia that I fail.
You know what I need to do?
Come up with a trivia question?
No, I need to actually record the game.
That is important.
Because of this stupid setup, everybody behind the scenes, everything's a shit show. I cannot share my screen, so I got to do it on my end. Yeah, it's a mess. I'm playing on one computer. I'm doing our video on another computer. It's really bad.
And then what's on the third computer, Art?
What is? Oh, no. Two of them are doing one thing.
So what's on your phone? What are you playing on your phone?
Phone is just news about Selena getting engaged. Congrats.
Man, so topical. Look
Yeah.
at us. We're a pod. Now we can put the actual like pop news filter on this little podcast. We can add that tag.
That's right.
You heard it here first, folks. Black Lodge Trivia Night.
Yeah, latest goss.
This is so much goss. So much goss. It's gonna be fab. Skibbity toilet.
Right. Okay. Oh my God. It's coming in so hot.
I'm having some.
Yeah. What is that?
Some subpar eggnog, and it's some store-bought eggnog, and it's fine.
Any brandy or anything going on in there?
No, not.
No.
It's a school night. It's
yeah.
My hot water heater hasn't been working for like a week, so we've had. It's fine. It's under warranty, but the parts are coming from I don't know Uzbekistan or something.
Ooh.
And so we've been going to Camp Grandma and Papa every day for a week, and I love my in-laws, but it's packing up a shower cap and a scrubby brush to go wash my taint every couple of days. Every day at my in-laws' house is.
And if they're anything like my in-laws, they have cameras in there.
Yeah. The teddy bear cam is just it's really really exciting. So
just looking at me.
Exactly. So
that's how hot we're coming in. You have no hot water.
I have no hot water, so I'm coming in frigid,
right?
Nippy even.
My computer might be about to die.
Excellent.
My mom actually had a recipe for homemade eggnog that was fantastic, but I can't make it for anybody in my family because they're terrified of unpasteurized or raw egg. It is good, but
yeah, and I bet it comes out like fucking concrete too, and that's the best kind of eggnog.
It's pretty thick, and it's really simple. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not doing recipes.
I mean, we could.
We could. Turn it into a recipe show.
Yeah, it is the season. I could go get a Christmas sweater on, and we can tier list eggnog.
Well, okay. Let's table that, but let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's still 2024 for at least another 6 or 7 centuries. So
right, but we keep saying things like that because I saw some things on the socials making that kind of joke. It's not getting better next year.
No. I'm still trying to process 2017. We're 7 years behind. We're 7 years in the queue right now.
Oh man.
It's gonna be fine. Obama's second term is going great, guys. It's we're having. That's how far back we are.
Yeah. Oh.
The white Bronco is still driving down that highway right now.
Do I admit that I get that and I'm old, or do I just be like, oh, I don't understand, and try and
I
play
just
it
made
young?
the joke of it, so it's fine.
All right. Okay, let's get to trivia.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'm going to be, Art.
Okay, it's coming at you hot. Here we go. Star Trek Next Generation. Denise Crosby, I think the granddaughter of Bing Crosby,
I think so, yeah.
was known for playing Security Chief Lieutenant Natasha Yar. Who was she actually originally cast as? That wasn't the part she actually got when she was cast on the show.
Wasn't she supposed to be the main shrink lady on the bridge?
If you are talking about one Counselor Troy,
Yeah.
yes, she was cast as Counselor Troy. Who was Marina Sirtis cast as? You don't have to give the name, but what position was she originally cast as?
Security officer?
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a total fucking guess.
There you go. Yeah, they switched roles before before shooting. Her character was supposed to be named Lieutenant Macha Hernandez, and she was supposed to be the head security officer.
Very excellent.
As a bonus question, and this one is ridiculous.
Lay it on me. All right, here we go.
When Gene Roddenberry originally conceived of the character Counselor Troy, how many breasts was she supposed to have? Hint, the answer is not 2.
And it's 3 feels like a gimme because that's a what is it? It's not Total Recall. No, it is Total Recall.
It is Total Recall, the original, yeah.
6?
Actually, not bad. The correct answer is 4.
Okay. I was gonna. That seemed too simple. That seemed too easy. That seemed like a layup. But
yeah.
Okay.
But then what was the guy Rick Berman?
Yeah.
He was like, Gene, what the fuck are you doing?
Sir, Gene.
You don't want to do that.
Do you know Gene Roddenberry survived a plane crash?
I did not know that. Like a total trashy wreck?
In the middle of the desert, in the 40s, like the whole, like a passenger plane crash. I can't remember if it was in Syria or in Egypt.
Whoa.
And he led the people out of the desert.
Like Moses?
Kind of. Like Star Trek Moses. Like Space Moses. Or if you believe in, actual anyway. Mormon Moses with aliens.
Right.
And 23andMe. Yes. No, I'm not making any of that up. The Mormons do 23andMe. But also Gene Roddenberry did survive a plane crash and led a bunch of people out of the desert. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
It is.
All right. So we got trivia from all sides. Gene Roddenberry survived a plane crash. He got really weird later on in life. And Bing Crosby's granddaughter was supposed to play Counselor Troy.
And almost had 4 breasts.
But Roddenberry was talked down. That's just according to my research on the internet.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
That's right.
That's the word I always hear. So.
Oh man. All right. So if you haven't been able to piece it together, because I haven't said it yet, we tonight are going to be playing CBR+PNK. It's back. This is something that Matt and I played probably over a year ago.
Maybe even, have we been around 2 years yet?
Not quite.
I feel like we would have celebrated that.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. And we had a great time. I really loved it, but part of the maybe by design problem with our setup here is because we want to play so many things. When we find something we really like, it doesn't mean that it's going to become a staple. It means, we have so many things that we want to try. And this is one that Matt and I both really enjoyed. And we also really didn't grok. And I can tell you, rereading it, I'm not sure that I've grokked it this time either. But we'll see what happens.
We'll fix it in post. It'll be fine.
Right. Our hope is that we can get through this as a one-shot. And my real prediction is that the next time Matt can't make it when he's trapped on a bus, if you want to jump back in, we can wrap it up.
Or if the bus makes it to 54 miles an hour, then we can just do it next week.
We could just do a campaign.
Exactly. I mean, the world will be our oyster at that point.
All right, Matt, Godspeed on that bus. Okay, so again, we're going to be playing Cyberpunk CBR+PNK. We're going to be doing the adventure, if I can pull it up here on my end. It's called Crescent Parallax.
Okay.
And what this game likes to do is twofold. It likes to start you immediately in the action, playing a character when you're doing a one-shot that is doing that one last job. So, here you are.
Okay.
You are checking into your room at the Hotel Crescent. Okay. The Hotel Crescent is one of the most luxurious skyscrapery hotels in all of Neo Tokyo.
Okay.
It's also known for being a meeting place, neutral territory, if you will, for syndicates, criminals, terrorists, and ne'er-do-wells. If you know the Continental from John Wick,
yep,
it's that kind of idea. Except this isn't just relegated to criminals. It's a hotel, but everyone knows that if you come and stay at the
Hotel Crescent.
At the Hotel Crescent, you are on your best behavior. And if you're not, they can take extreme, drastic measures.
I see. Okay.
So you're checking into your room, and you get up to your room. It's a beautiful, beautiful space, cavernous, luxurious, giant tub, beautiful view of the city.
Koi pond?
Koi pond, sure.
Robotic koi pond.
There you go.
Excellent.
And all of a sudden you get a notice on your phone.
This is Blackjack.
Blackjack. And you have been, we're going to determine exactly what you are in a little bit, but you've been doing it for years. The voice in your earpiece is the only contact you've ever had. You've never met this person. You've never seen him face to face. We're going to say it's a man.
Okay.
And he says, Blackjack.
Oh, hey, Seabiscuit.
He's like, famous information broker, Kenji Sanderson. And that's a name that the world would know in the underground. Everyone knows. He's like J. Edgar Hoover if J. Edgar Hoover was a hacker in the future. Like, he's just out there. He gets dirt on everybody. He says, Kenji Sanderson is staying in the penthouse on the top floor of the Hotel Crescent.
All right.
The very night that you're going to be there. Unfortunately, in 60 seconds, they're going to put what's called a parallax sanitation order on him. And people will have 60 minutes in order to hunt down Kenji Sanderson and kill him. Here's the trick. I need him alive. And I need you to get him out of the hotel.
I see.
Do you think you can do that? You can say no, and then we can talk eggnog.
Yeah. I'm already moving to the door. I'm like, all right, Seabiscuit, I see what you've got for me today.
All right. So that is the setup. And now we're going to go into character creation. I see that you are in the virtual tabletop.
Yes.
Are you able to see under the actors tab a character sheet for you?
Yes.
Now, if you open it, do you see a form fillable?
I do.
Okay. So if you look at the right, again, we're just going to go through the game like as you would any other normal thing. So if you look in the top pane on the right-hand side, it says player protocols.
Okay.
That's sort of where we're starting. Embrace the cyberpunk life, go into danger, fall in love with trouble, use stress, push, assist, papa, act now, plan later, which is very Forged in the Dark.
Yep.
Which, again, for the people who don't remember, this is based on sort of loosely Forged in the Dark. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to enter our character's handle, which you've already did as Blackjack.
Yep.
For number 2, we're going to enter a few evocative words to describe your look. It's whatever you want it to be.
We're in Neo Tokyo. I imagine it's pitch black outside and it's raining.
It's not pitch black. It's pure wall-to-wall neon, but it is raining.
Okay. So, gonna have an open Hawaiian shirt with a huge tattoo, like from the back of my neck, wrapping around my chest and down my waist of a, I don't know, of a cherry tree. Cherry blossom tree. Yeah.
So yeah, write down Hawaiian shirt and wrap around tattoo of a cherry tree.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see. Then step 3 is you risk it all. Oh, sorry.
And most importantly, you know those really horrible Macho Man Randy Savage glasses that you wear? Yeah, those are definitely on too.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So number 3 is you risk it all for a reason. What's in it for you? Choose your angle and detail it briefly. So you're going to see a couple of boxes. Get out, make them pay, look after them. The broad theme of your why are you taking this one last job to get out?
I think I got to upgrade my life. I feel like I've been in the business long enough. I'm ready to get out, you know, a la John Wick. See, we'll just keep pulling that lever. So ready to do this last job and sail off into the sunset.
Okay. So yeah, jot some of that down.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you can do me a favor.
Yeah.
If you can roll 2d6.
6 to 5.
6, 5. Now do another 2d6 minus 3. Or we'll just subtract 3.
Looking at 6 total.
Okay, so if you could jot down in that box where you're saying ready to sail off into the sunset, just mark down that you're in room 656.
Okay.
Okay.
Off room 656. Okay.
Okay. Another question. You were told by the voice in your ear that Kenji Sanderson is an information broker.
Okay.
World-renowned. Why do you think this kill order is being placed on him?
I think that he pissed off. So he's an information broker. I think he stepped outside. He gave too much information on the wrong syndicate. And he finally, I think maybe there's a big syndicate war or something, espionage war that's going on, like they always are in these settings. Maybe one of them is finally kind of, Wayland Yutaniing it and coming out on top. And he's shared too many company secrets on that. And so he pissed off the wrong person, the wrong CFO. And so there's the kill order at that point.
Got it. Okay. So, yeah, if you could just jot down pissed off the wrong megacorp that was about to come out on top.
Okay. I put that over in notes. So.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Okay. Okay. So we've got that going. So that's number 3.
Okay.
Number 4, assign 2 pips, 1 pip, and 1 pip in any order to 3 of your approaches. Now, the approaches are going to be on the second panel. They're going to be aggressive, smart, empathic, and stealthy.
Okay.
So you can put, and this is going to sort of determine like your die pool.
Okay. Let's go with 2 in stealthy.
Nice.
1 in smart and 1 in aggressive.
Okay, cool. That's perfect. Now, distribute 8 dice over your skills. So right below you got analyze, athletics, close combat. So you can assign 1 or 2, and that fills in the boxes for your dice pool. If you assign a 3rd die, you can pick an expertise, which is you can sort of specify a more, it's still a general area, but a more specific area.
Okay.
That gives you a little bit of an extra bonus if you decide to do that.
Can I get 8 of these?
8, yes.
Do 2 in close combat, 1 in athletics, 1 in analyze, 1 in range combat, 2 in sciences, 2 in rigging, and 1 in sciences. That's it.
Okay.
So 1 in analyze, 1 athletics, 2 close combat, 1 range combat, 2 in rigging, 1 in sciences.
Perfect. Okay. So that's the 8 dice. Now, number 6, step
Yes.
6. Body modifications of all types. So what you can do is under your augmentations, just pick one. I can tell you that, I don't know if you watched it, but what Matt did is he sort of gave himself this like stimulant injector that made him like Bane from Batman. But it required like money deposits, or so if you didn't have the money, you'd watch
YouTube
an ad.
ads. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it can be any kind of augmentation you want that is cybernetic. All you have to do is describe it.
Let's see. What's something really cool I can do with this? Let's do. I wanted to. It's got to be something with the tattoo. It's got to be something ridiculous with the tattoo. Maybe the leaves on the tattoo. Well, it can't. Maybe they're. How ridiculous can this be? You know, like in the really bad Iron Man movies, like when he's got the nanobot suit or whatever, and it like moves to different parts of him. Maybe that's what the tattoo actually is. Maybe the leaves on the cherry blossom tree, they can. Maybe it's like armor plating or something, and if it moves around as I'm getting damaged, but leaves like fall off when I'm getting damaged or something like that. Is that too ridiculous?
No. So yeah, just mark down like a tattoo is like active shielding or something, and we'll remember that. Unless you want to jot down the bit about the leaves.
Nah, it's not enough room. Active shielding tattoo.
There you go. All
Great
right.
bonsai.
Okay. So that is step 6. Then step 7 is don't buy gear. But what you can do is you can sort of click boxes of the types of things you want to have. So you're not required to actually have them. I think sorry, one sec. So the trick is that I don't think you actually have to pick. I think you just have to mark that you're interested in it. Like either no, you actually know what it is. I think what you do is you decide if you want to go light, medium, or heavy.
Okay.
And then as you go, you can maybe start to just name things, whatever it might be.
I think it's got to be light. I think that goes in. There's got to be a blade or two. So I think that means I get 3 is how I'm looking at that. I'm going to do a small drone because that's just cool.
Nice.
And then we'll do a tracking device. That seems useful.
Cool. Okay. And what we'll do is, and again, if as we're going, you decide like, actually, you know what would work here is goddamn hand grenade. We can just switch.
Okay.
You're not tied to this, so don't worry about it. Okay. So basic mechanics are you're creating a die pool. If you look on the second panel, left side, it gives you like the roll results. 2 6s on the thing is a critical success. A 6 is a regular success. 4 5 is partial, but that means there's a consequence. And then 1 through 3 is a failure. So
okay. Sweet.
So there you go. That's the basic idea of the game. The details are where I get a little messed up.
Fuzzy.
Yeah. So just so you know, at any time, I think you can call a flashback. A flashback is going to create stress.
Okay.
As your stress, which is on the second page, as your stress meter fills up, once it hits full capacity, something glitches.
Okay.
And so we'll figure that out. As far as the actual mechanics go, is when you need to roll dice, if you look on the left side of the screen, do you see at the very bottom of those icons, do you see an FD and it says like CBR+PNK roller?
I don't. Is it in the... Do I need to look in the macros?
No, it should be on the left-hand side.
Oh, yeah, I do actually. I do.
Okay. So if you click that, it'll bring up roll purposes, whatever, but it's the number of dice, the number of glitchy dice, and I'll tell you what the threat and effect are.
Okay. And that number of dice is based on the number of check marks for the skills that I'm rolling, right?
Correct. Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
So, okay. So Blackjack. You have finished your call with your what did you call your runner?
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit. Okay, so you finished your call with Seabiscuit, and at the end of your call, all of a sudden it's like bleep bleep, bleep bleep, bleep bleep, and you see on your comm the notice that the parallax annotation hit has been put out.
Okay.
And then there's a timer, 60, 59, 59, 59, 58.
Straight to the elevator.
Okay. So as you exit to the elevator, you start to see doors throughout the hallway opening.
I'm going to run towards the elevator a little bit faster.
All right. Okay. So you're going to book it for the elevator.
Yep. Or are there stairs right there?
If you want there to be, yeah, there can also be.
Sure. Next to the elevator, there's an elevator. There's guys coming out. I'm assuming lock and load guys coming out of it. Every motley crew. Basically, I'm picturing Bullet Train. Everything horrible, every horrible merc that can is coming out of the doors, right?
There you go. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you're booking towards the elevator, but then there's the stairs. So you want to take the elevator to the stairs, just so you know.
Yeah.
This building is about 70 stories tall.
All right, and I'm on the sixth floor.
Yeah, 656.
Perfect.
So,
okay.
Are you going for the stairs or are you going for the elevator?
I'm going to take the stairs up one level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you hear behind you scrambling, you hear the bing as the elevator doors open, and you hear some scuffling as the staircase door closes. But then immediately somebody else has the same idea, and you hear the door pop open as you're rounding the landing up to the next set of stairs.
Okay. Is it just one person? Couple people? What am I looking at here?
It looks like it's one person to begin with, and you can tell from their tattoos that they're part of the syndicate that Kenji pissed off.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look down. I'm picturing the little drone that I have is just, exactly like that. Just a little, something yay big.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of, I don't know, what am I going to call this thing? Ace, go cut the elevator cord, cable.
All right. Let's see. Why don't you let's do a roll. Okay. So if you can open up that cyberpunk roller.
Okay.
And we are going to cut the elevator cable. So we're going to say that your drone's going to give you 1 die.
Okay.
And would you say this is stealthy or smart or aggressive?
Probably either aggressive or smart. Doesn't seem very stealthy to go cut an elevator cable.
Okay. All right. So 1 die for smart. We got 1 die for the drone.
Yep.
And this looks like, as far as skills go, this could be rigging.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. So I got 4 dice.
That's what I'm at too.
Now, if you want, you can flash back to some reason why you'd be more prepared for this. That will add a stress. Or you can push, which will give you 2 stress, but give you another die. And the flashback. Sorry, go ahead.
We'll just stick with 4 for now.
Okay. So go ahead and change the number of dice to 4. There's no glitch dice. We're going to do a threat of 2 effect. It doesn't matter. Effect of 2. This is if we were doing one of the wheels, one of the timers. But just go ahead and roll the 4 dice.
Ooh. That's a 4, 1, 3, 4.
Okay. So that means, of course, you take your highest roll unless it's double 6s. Your highest roll is a 4. It's a success, but comes with a consequence. What would you like that to be?
I think the person down at the bottom of the stairs gets up into fisticuffs range. So I think the ace, the drone, makes it through, buzzes through the door. Maybe somebody else is opening the door on the next level up, the seventh floor. And so this little drone scuttles through and makes it, pushes its way into the thing and starts sawing the cable. But I'm like, okay, as I say that, I turn around and the guy coming up the stairs, his fist is in my face already.
All right. Okay. So we're going to say the cable is cut. We'll figure out the fist in a second.
Yeah.
What does that do? Does that lock up the elevator that the people were?
I think it locks it. Yeah, that one elevator it's on. Maybe it does the thing where it drops a couple of feet, and you can hear it's open a little bit, and you see in like there's 6 or 7 guys in there, and they're like trying to like pry it open, and it's that it's only this far up into the next level. So yeah,
nice.
That's what I think's happening. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's see, close combat. So this guy's going to take a swing at you.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's probably aggressive.
Probably.
First die. Close combat is 2 dice.
Mm-hmm. Now so this is your die pool, right? Or
well, so this is the thing. I think the way this game works is when it's just some regular schmo, it's actually your roll, and it determines the general outcome. So we've got 3 dice so far.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like your active shielding to take part in this roll?
Do I have a limited number of charges on that?
That's up to you, but what I will say is this. A possible consequence when you use it, if there's a consequence, could be that it glitches.
Okay.
And you can make the call if you want it to glitch.
I think it's too early. I was focusing on the drones, so I don't have not enough neural capacity to be like, okay, it shields up in my face, right? Like we're gonna get the nunchuck to the face that this guy's coming at me with.
Okay, cool. So that's gonna be 3. Give me a roll with 3 dice on that roller.
It's a 1, 3, 5.
All right.
Okay, so that's another partial success.
It's a partial success. So we can do a couple things.
Okay.
We can... one sec. Okay, so you got a partial success.
Yes.
We can do a couple different things. We can make the... You're going to succeed. What is it that you're trying to do? He's taking a swing at you. What were you trying to accomplish?
Probably dodge, something very basic. Just dodge out of the way and hit him back, kind of dealio.
Cool. That's cool. Okay, so how do you want the consequence to? Do you want to hit him back, but you didn't fully dodge the blow, so you take some harm? Do you want it to be something else? Do you want it to be?
I think
you lose some progress.
I think I pushed him down the stairs, but the door. We had said Ace flew through the door on the 7th floor. I think there's another guy already coming through. Like.
Okay.
I'm gonna get killed in a staircase, obviously, and then we can talk about eggnog. But
right.
Yeah, no, I think the next wave of mooks is coming through the wave. So maybe I push this guy down. He falls down the stairs, and as he falls down the stairs, I turn around. And there's another guy standing up there.
Okay. So now for the record, he sees you and he sees somebody go down. He's also got the same tattoo, so he's part of the same syndicate.
All right.
He looks at you and he looks at, his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that he's ready to go at you, but then he looks up and starts bolting up the stairs.
Fuck. Okay. I'm going to start hauling ass. The stairs are going to take too long. So I'll call, I'll whistle and have Ace come back in. I want to go look at the elevator cord that's dangling there now.
Okay.
And I think I want to... grab it, and which it seems crazy that we're in Neo Tokyo and everything is neon and we're still using elevator quick cables. But I want to, I don't know how this would work in a super futuristic thing. I want to do the thing where you grab on the cable and maybe Ace go release the safety on the elevator cable so that it shoots me up to the top, like
in the Matrix.
Right.
Okay. So yeah. So
I was trying to not be obvious with that, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could just please stop.
Stop making references. I will. No.
Got it. Okay. Like in the Bible. No. Okay. So you. Well, we did reference Moses. So you.
We did.
You open up the panel and you see into the elevator shaft. And below you,
there's an elevator full of angry mercs in the elevator, like right below me.
Yes, yeah. And so you see the roof of the elevator right below you. I assume you want to head into the elevator shaft and sort of make your way down to the top of the car.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that.
So you sort of, do you want to do it stealthy, or do you want to just like, screw it, I'm just going to slide down and ka-thunk on the...
We'll do it stealthy this time.
Okay.
I put 2 into stealthy, so I should probably, let's try that.
Let's try it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
I'll shimmy.
So we're going to call this a 2 for stealth.
Okay.
We'll do, I guess, what is, would it be rigging because you're using some kind of device to go down? Or do you want it to be athletics because it's just a straight slide?
Am I going down or going up?
It's right, it's about a floor below you.
I did want to go up eventually.
Right, you want to go up, but the top of the elevator car. That you're landing on.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll yeah, I think rigging makes sense. Either rigging or sciences is physics.
Mhm.
Rigging is heavy machinery, so that makes sense to me.
Okay, so we got 2 for stealth, 2 for rigging. Let me see. Is there anything else? Are you good with that, or you want to try and... Okay, cool. So give me a 4-die roll.
5, 5, 5, 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So it comes with a consequence. So you land on it. So you do it stealthy. We'll say that part's a success.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the consequence might be?
I think that the mooks in the elevator are starting, they're prying the door open. And all of their movement, I mean, it's obvious where this is going. All of the movement is starting to make the elevator, the brakes are coming loose on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And your goal, you want to cut the...
Yeah,
cable,
I want to go
right?
up with
right
the cable. Yeah.
All right.
So it's not a huge consequence. But I'm on there stealthy. How do I want to do this?
Do you, with the movement, is your landing clean, or is it a bit of a wobble and you got to catch yourself?
Probably a little bit of a wobble. Yeah,
okay.
I think as much as I shimmy down, my liquid feline self, trips the last couple of seconds there. So I'm standing on top of this thing as it's, inching down. And yeah, I'll pull my blade out and start hacking away at the, stealthily, just
very quiet
on the cable, and hopefully ride that bad boy up here in a second.
All right. So let's say, the doors are being pushed open. You're sort of cutting through the cable. The pandemonium, keeps them from noticing you at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you cut the cord.
Mm-hmm.
There was somebody like half out of the door. Like just loses a leg right there.
Yep,
Everybody
good.
just screams because they free fall.
Yep, perfect.
And it takes maybe 100 feet or so for the emergency brakes to kick in, and you see the sparks flying as the elevator just sort of grinds to a halt between 2 floors. And you see, like, the doors are open because the guy has pried it, so he's like screaming, grabbing his leg, and you shoot up.
Okay. Perfect.
So we're gonna say all of this has taken about 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, he's dead already, isn't he?
Nope.
Okay, good.
So what I'm going to do is, because I should have shown you this, I'll show you the players. This is the adventure. You don't have to read the whole thing. I wouldn't. But
Fair.
What I want you to look is on page 4. There's some tracks that you should be aware of. One is that every 10 minutes, the parallax closes after, the hit closes after 60 minutes.
Okay.
So every 10 minutes, I'm going to check off a box.
Okay.
And then there's other ones that, whatever, you don't have to pay attention to those. But the main one is that I wanted you to know every 10 minutes, I'm going to check a box.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, like I just showed you the whole adventure. You could spoil it for yourself if you want.
No.
If not, why is this not? Okay. So checked a box, and so you start shooting up, and it's like shoo, 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 and around like the 25th floor, you hit the top. It wasn't the express all the way to the penthouse.
Right.
Okay. So you're sort of dangling there. 25 stories up. You can see, maybe 22 stories below you. The elevator braked, stuck. But the door is closed in front of you.
Okay. Are there any like maintenance shafts or anything above me? Like,
Let's say you can see like there's like maybe a ladder, off to the side. That kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about? Would that work?
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'll start swinging towards that. Like I'm gonna try and Tarzan over there.
Okay. Let's do another roll.
Okay.
We're gonna make this doom.
It feels aggressive.
Aggressive's good. Okay. Definitely
athletics
or again rigging if there's some kind of I'll let you if you can explain it.
We'll go athletics. I've used rigging for just about everything. So
okay.
Yeah. So that's 2 die, and I'll flash back on this one to get 2 die. So I'll hear maybe distantly as I'm swinging, a rumble of thunder. And we'll flash back with the thunder to maybe a dense jungle in South America as I'm chasing down maybe some eco-activists or something. Something generally skeezy as a John Wick type.
Right.
Maybe some eco-terrorists in the last remaining bubble of the Amazon. And so like I'm chasing down a Che Guevara clone through the jungle, the last surviving biodome of the Amazonia, and that's the moment. And I'm like, yes, it brings me back to that for just a second, as I remember swinging from that vine and tackling the Che Guevara 47.
Nice.
So yeah, there you
all
go.
right. So a flashback is going to cost you 1 stress, and it's going to add 1 die.
Okay.
So we got the 1 for the flashback, 1 for aggressive,
1 for athletics.
1 for athletics. So yeah, if you want, give me a roll.
Okay.
Nice. Perfect.
Right.
Describe this to me.
So yeah, another rumble of thunder as I let go. It's very dramatic. Maybe even the lights flicker for a second. But I grab a hold, no problem, like a damn spider monkey, and I start climbing up the ladder. And there's maybe a maintenance door or something. Maybe it's a sub level that I climb up into.
Nice. So yeah, you open it up, and you're sort of like the behind the scenes part of the hotel, sort of halfway between 24 and 25. Maybe there's access to environmental controls. Maybe there's like a laundry room. You don't have to go all the way to the they have certain things situated every chunk of the way for housekeeping. And you notice that you've sort of gotten away from the swarm that was in the hallway. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna grab are there hotel uniforms sitting right there?
Sure. Yeah, let's say that's part of it. Yeah.
Gonna grab one of those, put one of those bad boys on over the Hawaiian shirt. That's not going anywhere, but the Hawaiian shirt is underneath. Nice. And I'm gonna what else can I grab? What's in a laundry room that's useful? I'll grab a laundry cart.
Okay.
And maybe there's an iron that's too archaic. That's in a museum somewhere in Neo Tokyo. I'll just grab a laundry cart. So it's I've got a laundry cart. I'm in a outfit, and I'll start going. Is there a diagram anywhere for where a maintenance elevator would be?
Yeah. Let's say there's let's say there's a delivery elevator somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna take the cart and go to the delivery elevator. And I imagine that runs all the way to the top, or maybe they have their separate own white glove laundry service up there.
Okay. Yeah, let's say this is going to get you pretty close, but let's say the penthouse has private security levels of maybe specialized maid services, stuff like that. So let's say however many floors I said this was.
70.
Let's say this gets you up to 69.
Nice.
Yes. And so you get up to 69. So you find some uniforms, you put them on. You did you grab a laundry cart, or did you?
Oh yeah. I'm rolling with the laundry cart. Yeah.
And then you finally figure out where the elevator is.
Okay.
And let's say, if it's not being too shitty, let's say that takes roughly another 10 minutes to get changed, find where these things are, get the cart, figure out where you're going, et cetera, et cetera.
That's fair.
So as you're stepping out onto floor 69,
nice,
the building goes dark. Power's totally cut to the building.
Okay. And I'm off the elevator at this point, right? On the 69th floor. Nice.
Yeah, let's say as you're getting off and sort of wheeling around down the hallway, all of a sudden everything just goes dark.
Okay. I'll hit I'm going to say that Ace is a wristwatch or something. Boop. And so Ace, light it up. You know, like he's just got a little spotlight, right? And hovers over my shoulder. Do I see any movement? Does anybody doing anything? Like, is there any movement in this section of the am I still like a behind the scenes area right now?
Yeah, if you'd like to still be in and you haven't entered into the main residence part yet, we can do that, or what would you prefer?
As I'm exiting out into the main, like into the hallway up there, I'll have him kind of pop off and start, light up, be like, oh, and I'll play it up like, oh damn, like, it's a terrible time for the lights to go off, just mumbling, random the help noises from
right
as I'm NPC noises. So
nice.
Anybody in the hallway?
Yeah, let's say so. And sorry, so you're making your way into
main hallway. Yeah.
So like doors are opening. People are like, what's going on? Some confusion. What I'll say is anybody that might have been this high up that's on the hunt had 20 minutes already to get out. Right. So the people opening the doors now are like the normals. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, the uber wealthy, but not penthouse wealthy. Yes.
Right.
Really. Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your rooms until lights have been restored and power is back on. You may file complaints with the hotel management at your earliest convenience when power returns. And I'll be saying this as I walk down walk down the hallway.
And people are trying to stop you and ask you questions. Are you trying to just push past them, or are you gonna?
No sé, no habla inglés. Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do a roll.
Okay.
How would you like to approach this?
I think I feel like it should be something like stealthy and streetwise, which is not something that I excel at.
So you got stealthy.
Yeah. And I think, is it stress? Is it a push that gives you 2 extra dice but gives you a stress?
So what that means is, so the push will cost 2 stress and give you 1 die.
Okay. So it's just 1.
You know what? Let's make this a tracker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this getting through the hall.
Getting through the Karens.
Whoops. I don't want that. I want this to... Nope, I got to delete it. So let me see how this works. I want this to be a clock. We're going to say getting through the Karens. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this green. We'll make it a 4.
Okay.
And let me configure ownership. I'm going to make it so that you can at least observe it. So in theory, if you go to the character area,
trackers.
Is there a folder with trackers and one called Getting Through the Karens?
I don't see Getting Through the Karens, but I do see 2 other trackers.
Getting Through the Karens, configure ownership. Patrick, I'm going to make you an owner. Who cares?
Yeah. Getting Through the Karens.
Perfect. Okay. So you've got, what did you say it was? I'm sorry, streetwise and stealth?
Yeah,
and a push?
So just stealth and I don't have 2 stress I don't have 2 stress to spend. So, or do I gain 2 stress? And
you should. Yeah, you should. Do you see the stress track? If you just click 2 boxes.
I misunderstood that. So I'm
okay,
gaining.
I see.
Okay, so yeah, I'll push. Sure.
Okay, so there you go. And so now you have stealth for 2, And stress for 1. And the push for 1, right?
Yeah. Still threat 2?
Yeah.
6 to 1. All right, so 1 success.
So 1 success. Okay. So what that means is you're definitely going to get 2 because so the way it works is threat 2, effect 2.
Okay.
So what that means is if you pass, you get 2 wedges. Okay. You can make the threat 3, effect 3. You can do all sorts of things.
Sure.
The threat means if you had failed or you might have suffered 2 things.
2 negative things.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So you're sort of pushing your way through the hall. You're able to, con some people into not speaking, the local language.
No say.
Yeah. So some people start to like say, oh, and they sort of brush you off and they start like, who can we call? Are the phones working, Sam? So give me another roll. And so far it's only 2 for stealth. I don't know if you want to push it again or flashback it or anything.
Let's just do 2. Let's just see if we can get lucky with this.
All right. Okay.
Partial success. Okay.
So we'll say there's 1 consequence. We'll do it like 1 consequence. If it was a fail, you'd get 2. You got 1.
Okay.
But
what does that look like?
Yeah.
I think there's a particularly... I think there's a 95-year-old maitre d' pearls down to her knees, and she's absolutely refusing. She has made herself as wide as the hallway.
Okay.
And she is absolutely not taking no for an answer. Yeah.
Okay, so you're able to get through most of the hall, but there's this one roadblock that jams you up for a little bit.
Yeah.
What does this do?
The solution to that is I'm going to ram into her with the cart and like sprint down the hallway at that point.
All right.
But it does cause a commotion. My stealth is gone is the main consequence.
Got it. Okay. So so the people down at that far end of the hall, they start to scream and yell because they just watched you kind of assault.
No, there's no kind of. I just assaulted an old lady. Yes.
All right, and you run, and you just run down to the hall, and you just sort of, you see say some double doors ahead of you.
Yep, straight through,
and you open up the door, and you see basically like a music lounge, it's near the top floor. It's not the penthouse, but it's up there. It's like a restaurant. There was live music, little sort of LED candles that weren't literally plugged in sort of light each of the tables. And you got the band leader up front. It's like, well, we're gonna see if we can keep going. So people are like, ha 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 ha. And as you're opening the doors on one side, the other side opens up and you see 3 people run in and they seem to be carrying weapons.
Okay.
So what do you do before everybody freaks?
Can we make a minor adjustment to that?
Yeah.
Can the band have started playing when they come in and just keep they're not noticing and the band is playing while these guys throw the doors open?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So if people are dancing and they haven't noticed them yet, I'm gonna I'm gonna rip the because it would be weird if the help was dancing. So I'm gonna rip the help thing and let my Hawaiian shirt out again, nice. Untuck it from the pants, and shimmy my way through the crowd, to try and I'm saying all this, but they're probably just gonna start shooting into the air, a la Die Hard. I mean, this is Die Hard. This is a Christmas time, so it's a Christmas movie. But I'll start dancing. Try and get close to him, but start dancing as close as I can get while they're not shooting people.
Okay. Yeah, so you see they're starting to push their way towards, as you enter the room, you look over, they seem to be making their way to some kind of door on the other side of the room, your side, but opposite corner.
Okay.
They're coming across. What do you do with the cart? Do you just sort of leave it aside as you...
Yeah, just shove it to the side. Yeah,
okay.
As I'm walking out, I'm like, that's Actually, I figured I'd left it, with the woman tangled up in it. Grandma's tangled up in the cart.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as you're doing that, you start shimming your way down. You're sort of trying to, I guess, cut them off to some degree.
Yeah.
And you see out, because again, this is like near the top floor. This restaurant is here for the view.
Right.
And you see coming through the building a bunch of helicopters, and you can make out on like the logo for the Prefecture Peacekeepers, which is like a local security conglomerate. And like 3 choppers are heading right toward the building.
Okay. Do I know from my past, or do I need to make a roll? Like, would Kenji have pissed those guys off? Are they coming to kill him too, or are they the cavalry coming to get him?
Well, let's say this. You know that yeah, let's say what would you prefer?
I want to say that the prefecture, he probably doesn't have friends. He probably does have friends at the prefecture, but he probably has a lot of enemies too. So it's uncertain, I would say. So I think it's going to add to the time crunch of it. Better safe than sorry, but that's a lot of heavy firepower coming this way, it looks like. So
cool.
I will pick up the pace and start pulling. We'll call it. I've got a butterfly knife. We'll pull that out and start heading towards the trifecta of goons.
Cool.
Again.
So what happens when you catch up to them or cut them off, or what's the move?
Gonna try and pick off one on the edge. We're gonna do this, whatever the lagging one is. We're gonna try and do this stealthy. The band's playing. People are not paying attention. These guys maybe have like submachine guns or something, so they're black gloves and black dusters. They're shoving people out of the way, but they're not making that big of a scene as they try. The band's playing some, like techno jazz or something. So like everybody's, and there's club lights going too where they can't. Well,
right.
Like so I'm gonna try and get in like behind the guy and just a couple of kidney stabs and take one guy out, right? And
okay.
Try and work through the next couple.
Okay, so let's say this. What I'm going to do is, usually we do like a threat of 2. I'm going to make this a threat of 3 because you're about to try and actively kill someone.
Yes.
So it's going to be, I assume, stealthy because you're trying to sneak up behind him.
Trying to be stealthy.
Okay, we got some close combat for 4.
Close combat. I
Blade's
got the knife.
Be 5. And again, it's going to be a threat of 3. So Is there anything else you want to push or flashback or anything, or go with the 5 dice?
Let's go with 5 dice.
Okay, cool.
That is triple sixes,
critical,
baby.
Yep. Triple sixes. You only need 2 to get the critical.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So as like the lights are flashing, the whole scene, the movie camera pans out or pans in. The bars come in, and you see just slow motion, like dancing. I'm like grinding up on this guy, and then just he starts to fall, and I like do a dip down with him, and I turn around, like I do a pirouette and just into the next guy. And then the last guy maybe turns around and is like, oh shit, and I'll throw the knife at him. So some real John Wick moves there for a moment.
Nice. So yeah, we'll let the critical you take off. When you throw the knife, do you retrieve it or do you keep moving?
I will retrieve it, and I'd also like to pick up one of the submachine guns from these guys, if that's what they have.
Yeah. So click submachine gun.
Yeah.
So that means now you are. So
I am somewhere between light and medium.
Right. So this is one of the things I wasn't quite sure.
I'm happy to pick something else up from these guys to fall firmly into the next category up, because I think at this point, I'm walking through the jazz club holding a gun at this point. Like, I think I'm probably gonna look ready for the job in that next description. Like,
well, let's say this: you don't have to, but if there's something else you want to pick up, but don't feel like you have to,
I'll pick up a couple of extra ammos, like that.
Okay.
That way, yeah. So I've got, I'll grab a couple, and again, I'm in a Hawaiian shirt. I don't have tactical pockets, so I'm like shoving magazines in my like belt loops.
Nice.
So it's ridiculous looking at this point. And I've got the machine guns on a strap or whatever. I'll put it on, sling it behind me. Like we're going, Miami Vice tactical at this point.
Nice.
Or Neo Tokyo tactical, which is a lot harder to say.
Very nice. Yeah. So how the sausage gets made. The thing I think this game is trying to do, and I don't know this for certain, is I think it's trying to say, like, you figure out how you want to use a light, medium, or heavy. Like, they give you a brief description of what it means. And for me, as someone who does not have much experience with Forged in the Dark style games, I wish it had more guidance because I don't know what I'm doing. But I think as you would play this and get used to it, you probably would get more comfortable. That's my guess. But
I think it's the second part of those descriptions for me. Like, with my original thought when I was saying, okay, I'll just take a couple of things is, okay, I want to be able to blend in with the help or whatever. Now we're moving past that phase of the game where I'm like, okay, I need to stick out a little bit more. I'm not walking around with the 12 gauge and body armor on like yet, but
right.
But we're more serious looking,
It's a little more obvious. Yeah.
Right. Which, the rest of the buffoons are going after Kenji, so I probably should be looking the part too at this point.
Nice. All right. So you've since you're picking up weapons off the drop bodies, are the people like nearest to you, are they noticing then?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, I would think 3 bodies on the floor. One is just somebody strung out on the latest fashionable LSD or whatever, techno drug.
On the drops.
On the drops, right. That's a nice callback to that was your guys' Cyberpunk Red thing, wasn't it?
I think so, and maybe it's like some Johnny Mnemonic. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the Penguin. That's in the Penguin too, right? Lately.
Oh yeah. I gotta watch anyway.
Oh, so
I've watched the first one. I loved it. Okay.
So
I gotta keep going.
Anyway, tier ranking S. So or P for Penguin. Anyway, yeah. So much more conspicuous. Like people are starting to freak out. But again, the music is and like there's all sorts of very confusing vibes going on by this band. Very Caravan Palace of them.
Nice.
So, yeah, heading towards the door.
Nice.
The other doors, the ones that probably lead upstairs.
Okay. Let's say that this probably does have it's locked.
Okay.
It's got like when the power went out, ka-chunk, locked down. People are screaming. People are starting to flood out of the room. Maybe. Well, we'll start with that. So, what would you like to do to deal with the lock?
We're on the 69th floor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a patio outside? Like, is there a overlook? I think there is an overlook.
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go out to the overlook.
In classic PBH style? No, there's not.
Yeah, exactly. No,
but
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the overlook, and let's say there's another balcony, but it's like above. Kenji's penthouse has its own balcony too. But I want to say rather than the normal, like, what is it it's like 10 feet between stories, right? This thing's like 20 feet, 30 feet up there.
Okay.
So difficult. But I'm gonna get Ace. Ace. Go. I want him to fly around the outside to see if there's anything obvious up there that he can knock down or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, you send Ace up, and you start checking your
my other augment, which is it's not a cool techno thing. I take my glasses off and I pull my eyeball out, and I'm looking at a really small screen on the back of my eyeball. It's not a retinal attachment. I have to actually like detach the retina to look at a really small screen on the back.
Nice. Yeah. So let's add that to your augmentations.
Inconvenient retina screen.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
But I think because we have added an augmentation, give yourself another stress. We're going to make the price of flashback.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
For a highly inconvenient augment. Like, I was too cheap to buy like the actual like implant. Like,
right.
So I'm like, I lost an eye, so I'm just gonna get like, I'm gonna pull this bad boy out and look at the tiny like analog like diode screen on the back. Perfect.
With your other eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you do that, somebody like through the windows just goes, "Oh my God." It just loses it. Another person slips.
Yeah. I have to like clean, like in order to clean, like I like pull it out and I'm like, oh, the screen's dirty. So I'm like rubbing it on a shirt and I like pop it in my mouth and like pull it out and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's much better.
Now I can read it.
Yeah, perfect. Just gotta give it the old spit shine.
All right. So yeah, so you're watching the flyby of Ace, and what you're seeing is the prefecture helicopters, about 20 troops fast roping down to the outside of the penthouse level.
Mm-hmm.
You're also noticing that like what should have been like just glass wrapping around as part of the security measures, like some kind of barrier has blocked all of the windows. So it's sort of sealed in, and there's about 20 troops on the patio above you.
Okay. I'll send Ace a little bit higher. Are there air conditioning units on top of the penthouse?
What do you think?
Let's say there are really high-tech ones.
Okay, cool.
But they're going to have ducts.
Okay.
Because if anything hasn't advanced technology-wise in the next 1,000 years, it's air conditioning ducts.
All right. So before we go on, I'm just going to say that another 10 minutes have passed.
That makes sense.
So
wow, I don't even have to do anything. This guy's going to make it through the full 60 minutes.
Well, we don't know.
It's great.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. So there's 20 troops. They probably came armed and dangerous. Are they looking like they're going to... I guess I should have asked this before I went to go look for that. Are they looking like they're going to, like... Are they trying to break in? Do they look like they're aggressively trying to get in?
So let's say they're still securing the perimeter, to sound fancy. But yes, it does look like they have the tools to try and get in there. And they're sort of getting everything organized. The choppers they came in on are sort of peeling off and hovering maybe a bit higher with door guns, providing any crazy support they might need.
I would like, and I didn't take any coding or anything like super high tech, and I'm starting to regret that. I am going to I need to ascend. And the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna activate my tattoo. I think I'm gonna use my tattoo.
Okay.
I was kind of picturing like, you know, skin, like embedded nanobot kind of thing, right? So I know we said shielding, but I may cross that shielding out and say nanobot thing, like the ability. Like I want to make gecko-y kind of hands. Basically, I want the tattoo, the leaves to come up and make my hands super. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I just stuck my eyeball in my mouth, so surely this makes sense.
Right.
So, yeah, the leaves start to flutter from my chest onto my down to my feet and my. So I'm taking my shoes off. I'm taking my gloves off. I'm not gonna have gloves on. And my hands are covered in these petals or whatever, and they all start to stick out and get these kind of sharp edges on them. And I'm gonna try and up the side of the glass here.
All right.
Towards that patio.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a roll.
Okay.
What would you like it to be?
I think that's gonna have to be. Let's make it stealth. I want to try and do it stealthy like.
Okay.
And I think that's gonna be athletics, stealth athletics, and then do I use a glitchy dice for the augment? No.
No, but let's say this. If there is a consequence, let's say it'll glitch your shielding because you're sort of stressing it out.
So is that a total of the shielding give me an extra dice? And make
yeah, so we're at 4 now.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to...
I'll use a flashback.
Okay.
I will... maybe there was a job. Maybe I haven't done this with my tattoo, but maybe not the tattoo specifically, but I have gone up the side of a building in Ho Chi Minh City, where I had to, rather than protect somebody, I was assassinating somebody at that time. Che Guevara 48. And really, my whole career, if you haven't gathered this, has just been hunting down the various clones of Che Guevara. That's the entire career, but each of them has different. None of them have anything to do with each other. Like, one was an eco-terrorist. This guy was like an oil baron.
Okay.
But my whole I'm Blackjack, in quotation marks. Che Guevara Slayer.
All right.
And so, when I killed Che Guevara 48, I used a similar assassination attempt to climb up the side of the building.
Nice.
Before then jumping down and snapping his neck. Very old school.
All right. So, yeah, mark the stress for the flashback and give yourself 5 dice on this roll.
Let's see how far I fall down 69 flights of stairs.
Ooh,
Sweet mother of Jesus. That's 1 6 and 3 1s, everybody.
Hey. That 1 6 does it.
That 1 6 does it. So I climb up the side of the glass.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be up next to. I'm under the patio, and I'll put my fingers and pull myself up just a little bit. And I'll be next to maybe one of the guys that's trying to secure the perimeter. He's looking around and looking over the edge. I want to grab him and pull him over the edge.
All right. So yeah, let's say you obviously do it.
Okay.
Does he make a noise on the way down? Or is he too stunned and surprised?
I think he's stunned because I Coco Chameleoned up the side of the building and just yanked him down.
Okay. So yeah, let's say by the time he realizes he needs to scream, he's already fallen 30 stories.
Excellent.
And the sound is lost in the storm.
Okay. 1 down, 19 to go.
That's right. Okay. So you have a clearing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
So there's a clearing. I'm going to try and hot foot it up to I'm going to try and find a door on the outside. I know everything's locked down, or at least see if there's any kind of entrance on the exterior that is locked at this point, or barred over.
Okay. Let's say in this particular case, the perimeter is completely sealed in.
Okay. I'm going to find another who looks like they're in charge, or who looks like they're not in charge, who looks like a second in command. That's who I want to find.
Yeah, let's say, say most of the people are on the perimeter. There's a couple people starting to set up some kind of welder to start trying to cut through the door. And you see one person's way back, sort of on an Overwatch of some site. But there's a person sort of right behind the 2 or 3 people setting up the welder, sort of pointing and showing hand gestures and stuff like that.
Okay. I want to try and get him away. Like, is this patio just an open space? Am I just standing out in the open right now?
It's pretty open. Let's say there's like, little trees and planters and stuff like that to make it decorative.
So that's problem number one, is we need to not stick out like a sore thumb in my pink Hawaiian shirt.
Right.
So what I should have done is, as I pull that guy down, I pull him down in such a way that I yank all of his clothes off as he's falling. But that's, but the moment is lost. So, so, and I've already done one retina suck. So I can't. That doesn't seem to fit here. I mean, do I just go balls to the wall at this second and just start gunning people down? That seems like a way to get killed very quickly. Because I imagine these guys are loaded for bear at this point.
They are. That ones on Overwatch, they do seem to have like tactical gear, submachine guns. That they're
I think I'm gonna kamikaze small drone Ace into one of the helicopters.
Oh.
I think that's what we're gonna do to try and create a distraction here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
Maybe in a way, like, because I'm picturing this thing is like this big, like, so really running it into the thing is not gonna do anything. But I want to see if I can get Ace to like go in and then like attach himself face hugger style to like the pilot's face.
That's what I was about to say. You can't do damage to the copter, but you can hit the pilot.
Right. And try and cause as much mayhem with that, even if it's just to get it to drop down, just a scene.
Yeah.
Or preferably roll 2 6s and have all 3 helicopters crash into each other. Like,
nice. Okay, so what are we using for our dice pool?
Oh, I feel like that's smart.
Okay.
It's got to be smart, and I think it's got to be... It's probably... No, robotics. Rigging. Okay.
Rigging?
We'll just go back to old tried and true rigging.
Okay, so we've got smart rigging.
It's got to be the small drone, so 4.
4.
I will use a flashback, but it's just going to be...
How'd you kill Che this time?
It's not going to be how I killed Che this time. It's going to be all like a black and white montage of me making Ace and like all of the wonderful memories, like me and Ace having dinner at the top of a building, like all like a Sarah McLachlan song is playing, yes, Ace, my best friend, my partner in crime, like wiping the grease stain off of it, and that's what the flashback is fly true, my son.
Nice. All right, so we've got smart, 2 for rigging, 1 for the drone, and 1 for the flashback. Did you mark the stress already?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so 5 dice. Let's go for it.
I'm gonna, if I go straight to an overload, an approach of your choice. What is an approach?
An approach is aggressive, smart, empathic, or stealthy. Those are your approaches. So 1 more stress, one of those becomes sort of glitched, which creates certain problems should you add a glitch die to your roll, and depending on what it is.
I'm going to stress out about this, and because my empathy is so terrible, this is my, Ace is my last friend in the universe. He's my John Wick's dog. And so I will glitch out empathy with this, which I think means I check apathy, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Right. Nothing in the world matters to me more than that little drone.
Okay.
I'm about to face hugger the shit out of somebody and cause multiple millions of dollars worth of damage with him. So I'm going to roll 6 dice.
6 dice, go ahead.
Do I clear my stress out when I overload?
Not quite.
Okay.
But go ahead. 6. Okay, it goes as well as intended.
Okay.
So tell me, it's not going to take out all 3 copters, but
no.
What happens?
But I want the helicopter to crash into the patio and slide into and create an opening if possible. If that's not too many dominoes to knock down. I want the pilot to freak out and like tail spin, have it crash on the patio. It doesn't have to kill a bunch of guys on the patio. That's ridiculous. But I do want it to slide in, catch fire, and break some of the like paneling on the outside that came down in place.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say climbing the side of the building, sneaking up, doing anything. That's gonna take about 10 minutes.
Yep.
The crash happens, and the copter, blades break off. It's pretty gruesome. So what happens when you overload is you have to do what's called take a breather.
Oh, good.
So what that means is, let me mark this, and then let me mark this. Okay, so you're gonna take a breather, which means it's gonna cost you 10 minutes, so to speak. It's gonna cost a check. It doesn't have to literally be 10 minutes, but it's gonna cost you a check.
It's pseudo, yeah, okay.
And what happens is, let's just say like you're dazed,
emotionally damaged, right?
You're emotionally damaged, but also the concussed, and you sort of like, ooh. So go ahead and clear your stress, because now we're gonna say you took your breather. No, sorry, don't clear your stress. Let's go to panel 3 and figure out how panel 3 is in the rules. So let me see. Coming in hot. No. Is it on? No. It's on the character sheet. I'm sorry. Taking a breather. Describe how the fiction provides you with an opportunity to unwind. So that's what we did. Everybody's concussed. Everybody's trying to.
Yeah, everybody's
regain their
dazed.
senses.
Like,
yeah.
The tinnitus is coming in strong right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it says, again, this is on the character sheet on the left-hand side of the first panel. Now it says, take a pill, turn up the volume, punch a wall, check in with a loved one, pitch yourself a okay, roll the appropriate approach.
Okay. So an empathy?
Was it empathy, though, or was your approach can just be like, maybe your smarts. Maybe you're like, okay, I need to like pop a stick to like a smelling salt or something.
Okay.
So let's say it's smart.
Okay. So it's just 1d6?
And then if you bring out your angle, you can add a die. Now your angle is ready to sail off. So if you can somehow bring that into this, you get an extra die.
So I'm reasoning with myself. I think that's what it is. I think Seabiscuit calls.
Okay.
And Seabiscuit calls and is like, Blackjack, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, man? I'll pull out a vape because cigarettes were banned in 2738. Pull out a vape. Cotton candy flavor is my favorite. I'm just trying to get on my catamaran. Ace was supposed to be there with me on that catamaran, but that little robot, he's gone. So I got a 1,000-yard stare right now as I'm hitting that cotton candy Zen, which has been atomized. It's not a packet that you put in now. Now it's just another vape. I'm just pouring one out for Ace here for a second there, Seabiscuit.
Nice.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. It's a machine gun tracking device.
I did remove...
Oh, you did already. That's what I was going to say. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say you got 1 for your smart approach, 1 for your angle, and then we're going to do, because Ace is... the way you can get an extra die is you can,
out.
Right, you can deplete gear. So let's say you depleted the drone.
Okay.
So that's going to get... And now am I missing 1? Let's see. Roll the appropriate approach. That's 1. Do not add a skill. Angles 2, 3, because we get depleted gear. So it's going to be 3 dice.
Okay. That is a 6.
Cool. Okay, so a 6 is that should work. Clear 3 stress or ignore level 1 or 2 harm penalty. You don't have those yet.
All right, we'll just clear the 3 stress.
There you go. Okay. So
should I what inventory button should I click for a cotton candy vape?
Extra load.
Perfect. It's a
there you go.
That's a big pop of load.
Nice. Yeah, so I probably should be using harm and stuff like that, but I just like, whatever.
It hasn't come up. The only thing, well, okay, I could have been shot, and we did just have a helicopter crash within like 10 yards of us. Like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But, with the 3 guys, you critically successed.
Yeah.
You managed to avoid getting hit with a nunchuck. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11 o'clock. We're not that close to the end. We're relatively close, but I don't know. How long do you want to go? Do you want to try and push through, or do you want to call it and we'll pick this up?
I did say 11:30. I got till 11:30 tonight.
11:30. Okay,
You think we can finish by then, or is this a good enough stopping? Like, I kick the can back to you, sir.
You know what? You've got the door open.
Yeah.
Where are we on these? Let me pull up the trackers I've got going on. Yeah, it's been 50 minutes. There's 10 minutes left. You part of your vaping is you see the countdown's down to 10 minutes.
Yep.
There's a hole in the door.
Oh shit.
And you have a clearing because other people are dazed.
Yeah.
So you go in.
Yep.
All right. So as you go in, what am I looking at? Oh, here we go. Okay, so as you go in, all of a sudden, you see on the inside of this area, there's actual power.
Oh, nice. Convenient.
And the the AI displays and interfaces around are working. It's not like a full open bar kind of power, but there's enough power. So you realize that some amount of emergency power kicked in for those who have, as opposed for those who have nots.
Of course.
In the penthouse. So you step in and you see like somebody slowly come up from behind like the wet bar. And he's wearing, say, just like an open kimono and like sandals, because he didn't realize this was going to happen to him until 60 seconds. And he goes, "Blackjack, you made it." And you realize that the voice you've always heard in your earpiece was actually Kenji.
Seabiscuit?
He's like, "In the flesh, we finally meet. Can you get me out of here?"
I think we can arrange something, Seabiscuit. Or should I call you Kenji? Or should I call you Kenji Biscuit? Mr.
Ken.
Mr. Ken. Okay.
All right. He's like, "Can you get me out of here?"
Absolutely.
All right.
Do you have a vehicle?
Downstairs on the ground floor. Yeah.
I see.
I would call in something for the air, but there's still 2 choppers out there. I don't know if they'd make it.
Fair. Okay. I see. That being said, Mr. Ken, I think it's time that we go. And I'll look him up and down and be like, "Are you gonna be able to run in those, or do you need to like change?" Like,
he's like, "Yeah. Just give me 2 minutes." And so here's the problem: as the 2 minutes are happening, you see like soldiers starting to come to, and a couple of them start to get to their feet, and they're about to start coming through the hole.
Yeah, the heckler's coming at you, and just gonna spray the entrance there.
Nice.
Yeah, just.
All right.
Kenji, little bit of urgency would be appreciated.
Nice. Okay, let's just see how this works. Give me an aggressive, ranged combat, 2 dice, submachine gun 3. Do you want your inconvenient retina to have any targeting or anything like that? You want to add a stress to get some kind of bonus, or do you want to?
Yeah, we'll say that's the one thing. It's highly inconvenient, right? It's not like it doesn't overlay anything in my vision. Like an actual red dot gets extended out from it. Like
nice.
I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the convenience factor of it. So, which is not, but we're gonna go with it anyway.
Right. Okay. So, tick off another stress. And then give yourself a roll with 4 dice.
5, 5, 1, 3. So a partial success.
Okay. So let's say, you spray, suppressing fire kind of thing. People duck back. Maybe you hit somebody and you drop them. What's the consequence?
A bullet ricochets and hits Kenji as he's coming out in some he's like, oh, I bought these vintage 2024, antique Air Jordans. And it's gonna come out and hit him in the top of the foot.
Ooh.
Straight through the Jordans. And he's gonna fall over right there.
All right.
Fuck.
Nice. So yeah, so he drops and he's screaming.
Damn. Okay.
What do you do next?
Well, we're gonna go pick up Kenji.
Okay, so you help him get to his feet. And they're the prefecture soldiers are starting to recover from the suppressing fire. What's your move to start this egress?
Kenji, where's the elevator?
And he points, because it's the penthouse, it's going to have a private elevator, and he points over to the other side of the room and down a little hallway.
I'm like, okay, well, here we go, Kenji. You're going to have to... I'll look down, hop to it, and so I've got him on one arm. As he's hopping, he's gonna have his good foot right here. We're gonna be walking, so he's hopping on his good foot, and I'll keep just anytime anybody puts their head through, I'm gonna fire off some more rounds with the submachine gun. Not worrying about ammo because I got those extra magazines.
There you go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tracker.
Okay.
I'm going to... What did I call this? Getting to the penthouse elevator. I'm going to make it so hopefully you can see it.
Penthouse elevator, got it.
Okay. So, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to... let's start making a roll out of this. What would you like to be your approach?
So I think that's going to be aggressive again.
Okay.
I think it's going to be range combat. So it's 2 dice there.
Okay.
It's going to be the machine gun. Do I get to use the machine gun and the ammo as 2 separate things, or can you only use ammo? Can you only use one at a time?
That's interesting.
Because if I have to use one at a time, I'll use the extra ammo in case something bad happens and I lose it.
Let's say that you want to just say we'll use the extra ammo because you just pump out tons and tons of rounds.
We're just going.
Okay, so that's 4.
And it's been a minute since we killed Shay, so let's add a flashback. And I will remember a casino where I was rolling particularly poor at a game of craps. No, that actually involves a little bit of... There's some skill there.
There's some... Yeah.
So, I was doing really poorly at a Frozen 6 slot machine.
Okay.
And as I'm putting my last credit, or my last yen, my last US yen into the slot machine, this is when I was really supposed to be paying attention to where Shay 53 was going.
Yeah.
But I lost him. He was actually at a roulette table, and so I was surrounded by bodyguards at that point. I was supposed to get him when he was walking down from the High Rollers Club.
Yeah.
And so the solution there to take out my anger at Frozen 6, The Return of Olaf's Nose, slot machine, where the slot was actually shaped like a giant carrot nose, and eliminate Shay 53, is to just absolutely unload on the entire table of roulette players. And so that's I'm pulling on that memory of the execution of Shay 53.
Okay.
They called that the roulette rumble. Was that execution? That's what that was called. So we're in a roulette rumble.
Nice. Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Did you mark the stress?
I did.
Okay. I had you at, I think, 5 dice.
I think that was the 5th.
Okay. So here's what I think you can do.
Okay.
I think there is I don't know exactly how to do it, but So the typical threat is, in effect, is 2.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fail, you suffer 2 threats. And if you get 2 wedges filled in.
Mm-hmm.
You can up that and say, like, I want to make this like a threat 3 or a threat 4. Now, a threat 4, if you have to take 4 threats of, you could die.
Yeah.
So I leave it up to you, like, if you want to try and burn through this wedge faster but make it more dangerous. I know I'm not doing this exactly right, but this is something
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a threat 4. Let's do it.
Ooh, okay. So go ahead and you got, what did I have, 5 dice?
Yeah, 5 dice, threat 4, effect 4.
Yeah, is there a way, let me see, take a breather, project, flashback. Do you get anything for upping the threats? Like, do you get an extra die? I'm trying to see. I'm going to give you an extra die.
Okay. We're going the extra mile there to 6 die?
All the way, yeah. So make it 6.
We're roulette rumbling this.
Yeah, so now it should say threat 2, effect 2. Make that threat 4, effect 4.
Threat 4, effect 4.
But 6 dice.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, critical. So that's going to be all 4. You're not going to get any threat from it.
Yep.
Tell me about this.
So I think we get to the elevator and he's pushing the button rapidly. I'm spraying bullets. And I think at this point I see in the, like the nose of the helicopter is just edged in, and like I can see the glass, and I can see a little bit of movement in there. And I'm still spraying, like it's starting to look pretty bleak. There's like 5 or 6 guys coming in shooting at us. We're hiding behind a wet bar, the other wet bar, or like a planter or bench or something.
Yeah.
As we wait for the elevator to go. And I don't think it's anything that I'm doing. I'm just keeping them at bay. But I see Ace, who's got like 3 little broken legs and 1 little finger, and he's crawling, and I'm like, Ace! Oh my god, Ace! And he starts crawling to the stick. And I see him flick the missile launch button on the thing. And I'm like, no! Ace, don't do it! You've got so much to live for, Ace! And I hear the Sarah McLachlan song cue up. I know! For the first time since Shay 58, a single tear comes down my eye, where in my fake eye.
Right.
And I see, the little mandible go. He pushes the missile button, and like the entire payload of missiles comes out or just drops. They don't even launch. They're armed, and they just, drop, and everybody like stops for a second. And then the elevator dings, and we get in the elevator, and then as the doors are closing, the missiles go off at that point.
And they explode.
Yes. Taking the entire penthouse with it.
Nice. I have to ask.
Yes.
Why did you shed a tear with Shay 58?
No. I'm remembering shedding a tear for Ace. It was shedding a tear
okay.
For, yeah. My best friend Ace, with his his act of sacrifice, is will be remembered. So my tear ducts finally unclogged.
Nice.
After the terrible allergy season that is 3382.
Perfect.
And a single tear.
So the floor goes up, and you see the wall of flames. Yep. Everybody's screaming. The walls of flame are coming right at you. Ding! Right before the flames hit. And you start to go down, but the force of the explosion breaks the cables.
Perfect.
And you start to free fall. Shoo, 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 shoo. And you see like the elevator going like 70, 68, 65, 62, 60. And at 62, and you slam down. So let's say you take a harm from that.
Okay.
So let's, whatever you want to call it, but from the impact of that.
I think I have a mild concussion. I think we're like free falling, and then the sudden stop. I think we have a mild concussion.
Okay, so enter that into the level 1.
Okay.
And then check that first box.
Okay.
So you can sort of get an idea of how harm's supposed to work. You take 2, and then you're on level 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it tells you what the penalty is right next to it.
I can't tell what that is. What is that? It's a down arrow.
So what I think it is a down arrow, is that an E?
Yes.
So what that means is you lose an effect. So like when you had 4 effects for critically succeeding at that roll, you'd only get 3. So
okay.
that's the second one. You just see it has that negative. That means you lose a die. Yeah. At 3, it means you're out, which means you get knocked unconscious and stuff happens. And then the 4th one, you're dead. And you get to narrate what happens. But
excellent.
Okay, so you drop down to about the 61st floor. You're not exactly at the floor, but
close enough.
Yeah, and this is like the penthouse elevator had sort of like an emergency elevator. It still has like a panel to the hotel AI. It sort of flickers and it's losing a little bit of the light. But what would you like to do?
Well, you gave me a hotel AI now, so I'm gonna like as I'm picking myself up the floor. So like the face will pop up on it, and we're in Neo Tokyo, right?
Yes.
So it's a chibi. What's the mascot of the Crescent Hotel?
Entirely up to you.
I think it's a it looks like Mickey Mouse, but it's the moon for the Crescent.
Okay.
It's like, oh, hello, I am Cressy, your virtual assistant. You
nice.
know? And we're like, okay, Cressy, I guess. Where's the closest exit? Is there another service elevator or any elevators working right now?
And Cressy's like, negative. All power has been, routed to emergency lights and the penthouse itself. But and you start to sort of, what you sort of realize for the first time is when the power went out, it wasn't just in this building, but like the surrounding blocks. They like shut down grid 43.
Perfect. Okay.
So it's actually pretty dark, and you have a little bit of power here with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no power that she can like reroute or anything like. Or well, you know what? Would you want to burn her power to do something specific?
I think. Cressy, can you make a phone call out? Because you're using the power from the penthouse. Are you able to make a phone call?
She's like, of course.
And I'll look at Kenji and I'll be like, did you say you had some air assets you could call in, Kenji?
And he's looking at you and he's like, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's going to cost me, but yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you want to be alive, or did you want to be, a couple thousand credits, poorer?
Right. He's like, yeah. And he's doing all this like, because his foot's like half blown off, and
You look down, it's just a flesh wound, like a very, very. It's like barely a scab. I'm like,
But yes, he can call in some
support.
Yeah.
Why don't you call us an air extraction? We're on 61. Why don't you call us an air extraction on 60? Just
okay.
Have them blow out a window, and we'll get you down to 60 and get you out of here, bud.
You know what? Let's say, if you're willing to do this, let's say there's a helipad on 50.
Perfect.
So that's
very reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I assume Chessie will say that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like we have an egress point. Why don't you call in one of your many, I'm sure, air cabs, and let's get the fuck out of here, Kenji. And then let's talk about how many zeros are going to go on the end of my check for this.
Nice. So yeah, he makes a call, and you can see his negotiation is that he's willing to hand over the dirt he has on this particular executive.
Excellent.
And so at the same time, there's two things. At the same time, the 60 minutes are up.
Yeah.
So you see on your phone, beep, 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 and the timer is sort of blinking 60, 60. and it says, hit canceled, authorities en route. And so it's not just the private PMCs that were there. Now law enforcement is going to start swarming towards the building.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, but he's negotiating, and finally, after like say a couple of minutes, he's like, "Great, it better fucking be there." Beep.
Yeah. As he was having that conversation, I'm like trying to pry the door open or whatever. Like I'm getting the door open so that we can hop out.
Okay.
And I'm like, we good, Kenji?
He's like, yeah. No, it'll be there in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's good. You made it 60. Surely you can make it another 5. And so I'll hop down onto the 61st floor, and I'll hold my hand out, like baby step him down. And what do I see? What's on floor 61 here?
Let's say floor 61 is like corporate meeting rooms. Like it's like not residence rooms. This room's sort of like one of the sort of corporate meeting room floors.
Okay. Be like, I'll look around. Like, is this one of yours, or is this competitor? Like, what is this? This looks very familiar.
The floor or the meeting, or what looks familiar?
The meeting areas.
Okay. Yeah, let's say let's say some of the rooms are for, we'll say maybe one of them is for the prefectorate. This is one of their,
oh, hell.
prefecture.
Kenji, did you tell me? Did you rent out? Did the prefecture rent out a couple floors of this for like spare offices?
And he said, well, I mean, a lot of the syndicates, have some kind of presence. Yeah, they did.
And of all the floors we could have stopped, in all the places, we had to walk into this room. Oh, Kenji. Okay. So we're gonna try and very quietly. Does it sound so? The power's still out. Are there any lights or anything flashing anywhere? Like, I imagine there's lots of like glass conference rooms.
Yeah, let's say there's a lot of
hotel desks.
Yeah, and you see like off in the distance like a red exit sign that still has a hint of power.
Well, that's where we're going, Kenji. So you stay behind me and let's try and sneak over that way very quietly.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a stealth or stealthy, and we're gonna do. I feel like I want this to be analyzed because I'm trying to pick my way through this room. So it's only one die, and no, I don't want to burn another stress because I'll take a hit there. So we'll just go with 3 die on this.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Excellent.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
So
critical.
I think we make it across, no problem. Like it's an open space, right? Like it's like everybody is evacuated. Like there's steaming cups of coffee or tea rather, like that have been left on desks. Like it's just disheveled office space. But I think that's all it was. Is like this was like the bookkeeping area of the prefecture. I'm like, okay, cool. But we will, as we're walking through, there's going to be like, what's something really obnoxious? I mean, there's an obvious answer to this question. What's something really obnoxious that a Japanese company for like defense would have in their antiques case? I mean, there's a fairly obvious answer to what's going to happen here. So as we're walking, I'll see a katana on the wall.
Nice.
And I'll be like, huh. And we'll take that. I'm gonna put that as an extra load because there's not an actual
right
thing for it, but I'm gonna be like, that's a bargaining chip. That's a lot of extra cash right there.
Okay.
That's how I'm thinking there. So we're gonna take that and put that on, and start walking to the door. Push the door open.
Okay. So you get to the door, and it's just it's a stairwell that'll take you down however far you want to go.
Let's go, Kenji.
All right. So you walk down, and say as you're getting to the 51st floor, the doors open, and you see 3 people from like a rival syndicate. Mm-hmm. They all stand there and they see you. Mm-hmm. And they kind of have like a flash of recognition. Mm-hmm. But the time's up. It's neutral ground. They're not allowed. The hit's off. Okay. So they sort of step aside and they're like, another time. And they let you go.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'll walk through.
And you get to the 50th floor. You see the helicopters, the remaining helicopters. They sort of stand off a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The hit's off. And you just have a clear path to your helicopter starts to land. And yeah.
Okay. So we start walking to this is when you tell me we walk into the helicopter, and I open the side door. All right, Kenji, remember, there's 3 extra zeros on the end of that contract for me this time. And that's where we look up and we see that it's Cheguru of a 99 sitting as the pilot, right? Like, no! One last job.
Yeah, and cut to black.
Perfect.
Yeah, that you take off, and yeah. So there you go. What did you think?
Fabulous.
It's a good game, right?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's wacky. Well, we made it wacky. I made it wacky, but it's fun. It's a good system. It's interesting.
Yes.
And very cool little scenario for it.
Yeah, I will link to. I picked it up on itch. It's a pre-made. So the game is, they have things in the book to help you randomize and generate a one run, but there are rules for a campaign. And I remember when I played this with Matt, I was kind of like, wonder how this would do for something longer. Yeah. With like it can incorporate a party. It doesn't have to just be one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because I really dig it, and I feel like it gets enough of the cyberpunk goop going.
Yeah.
Without having to be as much as I really like Cyberpunk Red, but
sure.
But this, yeah, I think once the GM got familiar with all the pieces and how they're supposed to work together, I feel like it captures it really well.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I'm looking forward to this. I am actually, spoiler, I am playing this with a group in a couple of months, so nice. I will be able to report back on that. I'll be curious to see how it goes. Again, just a one-shot kind of thing with a couple of guys, but I'll be curious to see how it is in a group setting, because I watched the one, or I listened to the one that you and Matt did, and now I've played in this one, so I've seen it, mano y mano a couple of times, and it's been great both times. So
nice.
I can only imagine that it gets crazier. Any of this PBTA stuff gets just can get pretty zany pretty quick. So
yeah. Well, I'll say that is it well, you got the chance not to delve too deep, in person or online?
Yeah, in person.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah. Then
so
definitely report. You're not running it though, right? You're going to be a player?
I'm not. I'm just going to be a player. Yeah.
Nice. Then definitely report back. I'd love to hear how this was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
So, did you have fun?
I did. I really like this, and I felt like I had a little bit more of a command of it this time. When I was reading through it last night, I was like, okay, I think a few things are starting to make sense. How you can up threat and effect, how the wounds, like there are just things I just didn't even bother with Matt, because I was like, I don't get it. But
sure.
And that's on me. It's not that complicated of a game as everybody can see.
But it's a different system, and how many systems have we learned at this point? Like,
right.
Yeah, there's not enough beet juice in the world, right? So,
and I do feel like, for me at least, other people maybe it just clicks. I would have loved an example of play or something, but it's tricky because the design of it is to get it into these pamphlets.
Yeah.
So it's really confined. But
well, right. You know what does have an example of play, and what is next. Telegraph us, man. Telegraph us. If Matt had been here, I think there would have been something new, right?
Yeah, it would have been 5th edition. No.
Yeah. Traveler.
What's that?
Traveler.
No. Symbaroum.
Yes.
I think is going to be on deck pretty soon when we can get Matt back in rotation.
Back in rotation. We got to get through Spies, and we gotta start Symbaroum. So
yes.
It's gonna be
really excited. Have you started thinking about your character?
I have a little bit. I'm excited, but
nice.
We'll see how that plays out. But I know we're all excited for it. So it'll be good to get some more dark fantasy going. So
not my usual dark fantasy where I'm in a gimp suit and
right. I mean, the bondage only can go so far. Really, only gets you off so many times before you have to find even more depraved things, like
exactly
playing with me and Matt every week.
Right, it's about as dark as it gets. So, okay, why don't we end on that? All right. Well, Patrick, thank you so much. I had a great time tonight. Thank you for indulging this.
Hey, man, thanks for running. It was a great time.
Perfect. And we are Black Lodge Trivia Night. If you watch this, then you've already found our YouTube channel. If you want, subscribe. If you prefer audio versions of this, you can search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your podcasts. We should show up if you want to leave reviews there. Or jump into the Discord. I mean, you can follow us on, it's all a sinking ship social media, but but follow us on, jump onto the Discord if you want to chat about CRPGs, RPGs. We try and organize games. We managed to do one.
Yeah. I was impressed. It was good.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, thank you very much. And can't wait till whatever comes next. So, Patrick, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
You too, man. Hit the sub button, hit the top button, hit the gimp suit button. And we'll see you on next time.
Very nice. Take care. The music during the RPG session in Foundry was provided by the Foundry module Tabletop RPG Music and composed by Ian Fisher. You can find his Patreon at www.patreon.com/tabletop RPG music, all one word.